Good morning and welcome to Fort Seller Elementary School. This is your principal, Mr. Lynn, and I hope that you had a wonderful Wednesday yesterday. Today is Thursday, March 10th, 2022, and it is a day 3. Had to work that out there for a moment. Now, before we kick off this wonderful day, I want to invite you, as I always do, to participate in the Mindful Minute. The Mindful Minute is a good way to get yourself to just settle, to allow yourself to recognize this moment, how amazing this moment is, and that you exist. So let's just use our eyes for a moment and scan our environment as we always do, and find something that catches your eyes' attention and study it. I'm looking at something that's really small. It's right there on the floor. Try to understand how far away it is in relationship to you. The colors, shadows, textures, the usual. And then with your nose, take a breath in and out. What do you notice with your sense of smell? What does it bring up? What memories does it remind you of? Then with your ears, just pause and listen. What do you hear? What is out there that you can what are the sounds out there that you're listening to now that you didn't notice before because you weren't paying attention? And then finally, with your skin, what do you feel? Everything from the temperature to the air itself, or your clothing, or even an itch. Okay, now let's move forward to our breathing part of this exercise. And I'm going to use Finn's breathing technique once again, the car breathing technique. So let's go ahead and get your body settled. Notice that chair holding you up. Notice your weight. Notice how gravity's pulling you down. And then go ahead and take your first breath in. Fill your belly full of air. And then slowly let it out. Allow your shoulders to relax. Let yourself just simply exist. But notice it. Breathe in again. Let your car go up the hill. And then as you get to that point where you stop breathing in and pause, you should be at the top of the hill. And then when you let it out through your mouth, just let your car go down the hill. Breathe in again. Breathe out. And now when you're in the rhythm of it, just check your attention. If your mind is thinking about only your breath and what is going on here and now, breathe in. That's great. But if you're not, if your mind's thinking about other things, just gently bring your attention as you breathe out back to the here and the now. Breathe in. Experience the fullness of that breath. Breathe out. Experience the warmth of that breath. Now, also pay attention to what feelings and emotions you brought to school today. Breathe in. Breathe out. Whatever those feelings are, just simply allow them to exist. In other words, don't push them away or ignore them. Breathe in. Let those feelings into your heart. So often those feelings have a message to share with you. Breathe out. And as you try to sit with those feelings, seek to understand what that message is. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now, in a moment, you'll hear a bell or a chime. Listen to it as it gets quieter and quieter. And when you can't hear it anymore, you may then open your eyes and awaken to the world that is around you. Welcome to a new day right here at the fort, where you are loved, where you are cared for, and where we want you to succeed. Now, whether you have a great day or not, that's ultimately your choice. So choose wisely, work at it, and of course, enjoy the rewards. At this moment, please stand and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You could go ahead and take a seat. I want to thank you for joining me in the Mindful Minute. It's always nice to have you join in. These moments that we notice are amazing, and there's so many blessings to take from it. I don't want to be the only one noticing it. I love that you guys are joining me too. Don't forget, we have 3 expectations here at the school. Number 1, be respectful. Use your 2 ears, use your 2 eyes, observe, right? And then when it's your turn to talk, use your 1 mouth. And be careful and responsible with how you use the words that come out of your mouth. But being respectful to others also means that you deserve that respect back. So when you do use your mouth, when you express yourself, and it's the right time for you to express yourself, I hope that other people will use their ears and their eyes and pay attention to you. And then when you are at the end of the day and you look yourself in the mirror and you say, I'm proud of myself for everything I did, whether it was seen by others or even when nobody else is looking. If you were proud of yourself, then you have effectively respected yourself in the way that you deserve it. Now, the other B is being responsible. Make sure you're responsible with your feet, with your hands, with your legs, right? With the words that come out of your mouth, just as I said. In controlling what comes out of our mouth actually doesn't really start at your mouth. It starts up here in your brain. If you think in positive and encouraging ways and kind ways, respectful ways, if you think about enjoying life that way, it will show in how you act, right? If you think about showing the best honesty in you, you will act in an honest way. If you think about being a great citizen, you will act like a good citizen. You see, that's kind of how that works. And I hope that you guys are, practicing that responsibility, not just with the output coming out of your mouth, but also with how you think, never giving up. Speaking of never giving up, that leads us to being ready to learn, ready to eat lunch in the cafeteria, ready to ride the bus. Are you? And then are you ultimately ready to fail? I was actually talking to another principal today, earlier today, and that principal was talking about how important it is to learn how to fail. Because if you fail and that's it, and you just judge yourself for failing, well, you're not going to feel great about yourself. If you fail and you get up and you dust yourself off and try to figure out what lessons there was to learn from that incident, and you do better the next time, then you have basically taken failure, made a gift out of it, and became a better person, a better reader or better whatever it is, okay? So that's what I mean by being ready to fail. Our character trait for the month of March, as you all know, is cooperation. We all sometimes can only achieve a few things if all of us work together. There's some things you just can't do alone. And so it's important that when you do get people together, that we're all working together, kind of like rowing that boat, right? In that picture that I shared with you during the PBIS assembly. All right. And last but not least, I know this part you guys really like because I love hearing it from you guys. I like you just the way you are. Today, turn around right now and look at your teacher if your teacher's in, and make a decision in your head. That teacher of yours works so hard before school, after school, over the weekends even. They're grading stuff. They're finding interesting new materials to use to teach you. Sometime today, go find them and say thank you, right? Tell them you like them just the way they are, because I like you just the way you are and also how you're growing. That's why we're in school. All right, I can't wait to see you guys around. Have an amazing Thursday.